Hi, Patricia, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Miss you a long time.
Yeah. Yes, I'm back.
After 2 weeks, we have seen. Laila, first of all, thank you for joining my yesterday's program. And also, Patricia, missed you.
Oh, yes, I miss you too. But the thing is that I'm so busy lately because we are reaching the end of the year and there are many important
I know
events.
about your business on Monday.
Yes. How did you do yesterday? Fine?
Probably. Probably.
Remember that practice makes progress. So don't worry. If you have not presented in the way you wish,
I have
probably in the future,
just my level best. Otherwise, not.
Of course, I know that you are a hard worker. You need time. The thing is that we always want to go on improving, and that takes time. So you are very busy at the moment. So through time, you will be able to do it the way you wish. So it's a question of time only.
Next time I have gone to just Thursday, known to me, in November, mid-November, I will facilitate a pilot project. Just.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. What?
Laila, why are you silent?
It was good.
Hi, Laila. How are you?
It was good. We missed you yesterday. We missed you, Patricia, mom.
Yes. Sorry, but yes. Mama invited me, but I'm so busy and it's difficult to rearrange my schedule. And last Tuesday I cannot come because it was impossible to change. You know that every single morning and every single work I'm working in the morning. That's why sometimes, thank God, it's not so frequent. But I can't come because I'm busy. That's the only reason for my absence. So I'm very pleased to see you today again.
No, yesterday also we missed you.
Okay, yes, I know. But Tracy always wants me to be there, but it's impossible, really. It's impossible. Okay.
Yeah, I know that. But anyway, it went very well. It was really very good. First experience. I was there first. Yeah.
Okay. And you are a member now of GMT.
Okay.
Pardon?
Are you a member of GMT? Okay, that's great. So you are part
of
I
have.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Tracy's proposal is very important because this is the type of learning that our students need. Well, it is the one that we are really promoting, but the way it is organized is really great.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's a good thing only.
Yes. So with promotion, I think that this type of learning will be possible. Already many institutions around the world are working on this. And I didn't start saying this before, but today I'm not feeling very well. You might have noticed because of my voice, but I've got a sore throat. So probably that's the reason why I speak so slowly today. Sorry. I hope that next week I will be better because I'm so energetic. Today I don't think I will be as energetic as I am usually.
Vimlal Sal already has joined.
Good. Good morning, Vim. No, for you it is good evening.
Good evening. I'm from Nepal.
Yeah, Nepal. All right, you're from Nepal, right? Yeah. So for you it is good evening. For me it is good morning.
Waliullah sir, probably our country's teacher. Recently, she has completed India-Bangladesh collaboration program. Waliullah sir, please introduce yourself.
Me?
Hello, no, Waliullah.
Laila.
Waliullah.
Bangladesh. I'm a chemistry teacher, grade 9 and 10. Good evening for everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Patricia ma'am from Argentina.
Yeah, yeah. Pleased to meet you. Yeah. You are close together, but I'm from a very far away country on the other side of the
That
world.
is the most popular person of our country.
Yeah. I feel part of Asia now because we are together.
Now we can start, Patricia.
As you wish.
Just wait 1 minute.
All right. Okay. Only more people may join us.
Guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they will be coming.
Yeah.
Shagorika. Hello. Okay. After 10 minutes, Shagorika will join. Just Pakistani guest, new guest, Dr. Meera Alam Said.
क्लास 10 चाहिन्छ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो समितिले कुरा गर्छ मैले गरेर हुँदैन मैले भने जस्तो त्यो कुरा भन्दैछु त्यस्ता
कस्तो पनि क्लास लिइरहेको र उसलाई थाहा छ र थाहा हुँदैन कस्तो आइमा यो चाहिँ यस्तो कुरा राख्दैन न अध्यक्षलाई त्यो हिजो अब उद्योग नहोला नि तपाईले
बच्चाले लहर्छले मैले जस्तो पढाएन भने बच्चाले लहर्छले
Okay, shall we start now? Just our invited guest will join rapidly. So today, as well as our program attended by eminent academics from home and abroad, and this is no exception. So let's take a turn of the puja of Hindus' religious friend. Laila, happy?
Yeah, everything is fine.
In fact, it is a family of ours. So once a week, we all come together to express our views on an important issues and try to find out where and how to improve the quality of education. So greetings to all of you at the weekly roundtable discussions organized by We Bangladesh chapter. So I'm Mamtaz Rukhsana Akhtar. I'm with you today as always. Today is the 27th episode of our program. 27. So
Wow, wonderful.
Great.
only roundtable, international roundtable discussion. 27th.
Good.
Today
Right.
we
Congratulations.
have determined the topic of discussions, a growth mindset culture in the classroom. I think we should all have a goal that we will create a mentality in our student. So they need to emphasize emotional culture as much as we emphasize social culture. That's why today's topic has been determined. Let's see what our negotiators think on this topic. Before that, I would like to ask, please, Patricia, to give an opening speech on this topic.
All right. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this new session. Everybody knows that nurturing a growth mindset is essential in the classroom. Carol Dweck, a leading researcher in the field of achievement and success, wrote the book Mindset, the New Psychology of Success. And she coined the terms fixed and growth mindset to describe the underlying beliefs that people have about intelligence and learning. It is important to make the distinction between both terms. For example, in the classroom, a student who has a growth mindset believes that his abilities can be developed through hard work and dedication and perseverance. On the other hand, a student who has a fixed mindset believes that his intelligence and talents are fixed traits. For this reason, it is important to know our students at the beginning of the school year in order to be able to encourage them to have a growth mindset. In the classroom, what is important is the role of the teacher. Why? Because when she approaches teaching and learning with a growth mindset, she enables students to grow and become deeper learners. At the same time, she believes in the potential the students bring to class. This is very important. Today, in the 21st century, one of the first steps that should be taken is to get to know our students, because today we are having diversity in the classroom. This means that each student is unique and he brings his own potential. So it is our mission to discover the type of potential they bring to class in order to be used in their process of learning. At the same time, the teacher who has a growth mindset encourages students to focus on effort and not on talent. And she focuses on the process of learning and not so much on the results. In the traditional model, still we have the emphasis on the result. But when students realize that they can think and they can reflect on their process of learning, they feel that they can learn more successfully. Another important aspect that should be taken into account is the way the teacher talks to students. She should be mindful of how she communicates with them. For this reason, when she has a growth mindset, she is empathetic, supportive, and approachable. And the students feel confident because they feel that their teacher is accompanying them in the process of learning. And this is very important because when the teacher is by the side of the students, both of them discover, teachers and the students discover what is working and what is not working in the process of learning. So in this way, the students are able to construct their own learning, their own process of learning. And what is important also is that when the teacher encourages effort, the students realize how important effort is, because it is not a question of talent, because they bring that potential, and that potential means abilities or capabilities, and those abilities should become competencies, right? Because the students should know how to use the skills they bring to class in real life situations. So when the teacher has a growth mindset, she knows that she's not just in the classroom to teach students content areas. She knows that she's teaching the students to become effective learners and problem solvers for life. And that's completely different from the type of teaching that is proposed by the traditional school that fortunately is gradually disappearing. So the idea is that it is important to nurture a growth mindset in the classroom. Why? Because those teachers who are already instilling this type of mindset, learning is better. The students feel more comfortable. Why? Because a special atmosphere is created in the classroom. Remember that we are emotional creatures. First we feel and then we reason. And this should be taken into account when we are in the classroom in front of our students. We need to consider their emotions. That's why it is very important, before starting nurturing a growth mindset in the classroom, we need to create a positive atmosphere, an atmosphere which invites the students to learn. So when this special climate is present in the classroom, the students discover how important the development of a growth mindset is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tesia. I know that you are always good speaker, good learner, good speaker, and good mentor.
Thank you. But anyway, I'm not so energetic as I normally am. But anyway, I think that I have been able to explain myself clearly.
I agree for your discussions 100%, and just I add to something, just a group minded in a group minded, just people believe their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication, just and hard work. So brains and talent are just the starting point. So in this view, create a love of learning and realize that is essential for great accomplishment. Just so we have seen that just mentor Kobisas, mentor Kabasi. Are you there? Mentor Kabasi? He has already joined. Mentor Kabasi, can you hearing to me? Okay.
It's from Albania, no?
I have raised some questions about this topic. So I will now come to Laila. Please unmute your microphone. And my questions to you, Laila, can you hear to me?
Yeah.
Okay. My questions to you, just why does a growth mindset matter in the classroom?
Yeah, very good evening. Good morning to Patricia, ma'am, rest of the people, those who are already assembled here. They are, I think, good evening for them. So, as far as the question is already related to growth mindset, that is what it is striking. Why it is so striking? Because to develop a growth mindset is not an easy thing. Because when we become matured also that time, sometimes we feel very low, sometimes we feel very happy, very excited, sometimes we feel desperate, disappointed. Then how can we achieve or develop a growth mindset? The first and foremost thing, when we are living in a family, I will take the best example as a family, then I will come to the classroom. Firstly, we have to think the place where our own relatives, our own family members are already there. I would like to ask only one thing: how many of us are not practicing non-judgmental attitude? Non-judgmental attitude. If we are judgmental, we cannot promote the growth mindset in anybody. In a family, we see the difference between the son and the daughter, husband and the wife, the father-in-law and mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. Like that, if we think about the relation, we can see within the family, within the boundaries of the family, we see the difference. And then when we are becoming judgmental, how can we say that we are promoting growth mindset? So for me, I would like to suggest only and only one thing: instead of judging anybody, we should not be prejudice minded. We should not think that that person is like that, so he will never be able to make progress in life. There lies the point in the case of the teachers also. Few teachers will always think that, yes, that child is really neglected, that child's parents are like that, so he will not be able to become, or he will not be able to rise up in the life. That is our mistake, because we have to think that what is our role. In a classroom, different types of children are there. As we usually say, it is a heterogeneous classroom. Not everybody is equal. Even 1 plus 1 is equal, then we can say that, okay, beautiful. But that also very, very rarely only we can say. So non-judgmental in the case of the family, we should have the policy of not judgmental in the case of the classroom also. Another point I would like to tell that we should give equal treatment to everybody. We should think that we all are equal, at par with others. I am not telling that at par with in excellence. Excellence is something else. But consider that person as a human being. Consider that person as an individual and give him the opportunity to rise up, opportunity to use the latent potentials in him instead of limiting the potentials. So, being the educators, being the teachers, if we think that we are the main means of or the agents of transforming the potentials to the fullest, we can have the satisfaction. Yes, not only the job satisfaction, we will be having that particular mindset, that is growth mindset in our life also. With a growth mindset only, the teacher can enter the class, the teacher can impart education, the teacher can try to mold the child. If the teacher is already having the negative mindset, no, I am like that, how can I compete with my colleague? No question of competing at all, I will say. There is no need of competition. You use your potential and try to develop, try to rise up. And then surely you will be able to see that those who are already pulling your leg will be already being there to salute you. If we think about Nelson Mandela, who had already given freedom to the South Africans, we can really adore him, admire him, because many people, they were against that particular discrimination prevailing over there, that is apartheid. He did not worry about that. He fought and fought and fought. So many years he was in prison. Growth mindset example I am telling. Think about Bill Gates, the same thing. Harvard University dropout. The best children, the best students, the best classmates, those who have already got first grade in his class, they are working under him. Why? Because the growth mindset. So I feel for self-improvement, growth mindset is very, very important. For positive attitude, growth mindset is very, very important. For self-confidence, growth mindset is very, very important. To make anybody's life to be successful, we have to help, timely help, even a small word also, a kind word also, that will help the child, that will help a person to think that, yes, I am capable of this. You know very well, everybody might be knowing about William Shakespeare, even about Thomas Alva Edison, Albert Einstein. Their teachers, their parents, their mother, they have already told them that you are not going to make any progress in life. See, those type of words from our mouth, being the educator, it should not come from our mouth, because we have got the clay in our hand. It is our duty to mold them. It is our duty to shape them with a positive attitude. And if we really give that particular strength in them, let us wait and see how our this rising generation is going to brighten this present world to live in. I will say present world because now we are already experiencing the change in the mindset of the children. And to a certain extent, we can say that digital world has already been taken over and the traditional classrooms are already going back. Many people are saying that traditional classroom has already been out now, outdated now. So only digital classrooms are there. we have to thank digital world, because that is why I am able to speak, and I am able to listen from you also. So we cannot ignore. Without this positive growth mindset, Mamda mom, we are not able to meet, we are not able to talk also now. So I feel that with the positive mindset, we can do wonders in our life. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Laila.
Thank you.
For your
Hello, everyone.
strong-
Good evening.
Sagarika ma'am.
Looking
Lena,
beautiful.
hello, Patricia.
Good
hello.
evening.
Hi. Hi,
Sandra,
Jagarita. How are you?
hello.
Sagarika,
Very well,
please
thank
do-
you. Good to see you all.
Happy to see
Welcome.
you.
Ah, we are also.
And
Yes.
looking beautiful. Sagarika.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
Yeah. Special today.
Laila, first
It's
of all, I
festive
agree
season.
with you. You're a strong speech delivery. Undoubtedly true. You are a good speaker. I want to some add your discussion. Just if we cannot avoid prejudice, we will not be able to reach our goal. Just we
Yeah.
will not be able to maintain the quality of education unless we change our mindset first. So in this stage, I will now come to Shagorika. My questions to you, just how can I manage the classroom in a way that encourage a growth mindset online or face-to-face?
I'm not getting it. What is it? Your voice was cracking. Sorry, could you please repeat the question once again?
Just how can I manage the classroom in a way that encourage a growth mindset online or face-to-face?
Yeah, so online, or first of all, we need to understand what is growth mindset. Okay. Growth mindset, first of all, the word mindset is itself working with the mind. And as we say that the brain is extremely active. Whatever you feed the brain reacts, you know. It's the most flexible part of the body, where the smallest part of the body, but the most flexible part of the body. And whatever you feed, it harbors the same thing. So in your mind, if you have fear, it's going to harbor fear. If you have anxiety, it's going to harbor anxiety. If you have jealousy, it's going to harbor jealousy. So whatever you harbor, so that way, if you harbor positivity, I mean, if you think positive things, so your mind will also harbor positivity. And the moment, what is growth mindset is a person who has a clairvoyance. When I say clairvoyance, who could see something beforehand, who is foresighted. A clairvoyance person is a person with a very strong foresight. Okay, who can foresee something before even it happens. That is a leadership quality, you know. So for a classroom, online and offline, we always say the classroom is led by the teacher, by the facilitator of knowledge. Okay, every classroom has a facilitator of knowledge. Using the word teacher these days is not really right. A teacher is an educator is a facilitator of knowledge. So these facilitators of knowledge are the ones who are leading the class, and the children are the followers. So it is imperative that before we expect it from the children, the leader in the classroom should have a growth mindset. Now, what are the traits of a person with a growth mindset? A person with a growth mindset always has no bias, keeps away all the bias, and looks ahead of the bias, first of all. Secondly, whenever there is a complex problem, the person with a growth mindset always has a very positive way of attaining each and every problem, discussing the problem and coming up with a very viable solution. And when I say a viable solution for it is in the interest of everyone. It is not a selfish interest. A person with a growth mindset is never a selfish person. The person will take any decision depending on a complete, everybody's mindset will account for everybody, you know. Then the leader in the classroom should not discriminate. A person with a growth mindset never ever discriminates. There is never a right answer from a child. There is never a wrong answer from a child, because every child is unique. whether the child is online, whether the child is offline, whenever the children answer questions, every answer has to be accepted by a leader. And if a leader has a growth mindset, will accept every answer and will try to build on that answer. Through various questions, the leader will try to build on those answers, but will never ever tell a child that no, you're wrong, no, your answer is wrong. So that is very important, to encourage every child in the classroom, whether the child is on offline mode or on online mode. Irrespective of that, it is important that the child is always encouraged to answer, and that is only a person with a growth mindset. So in short, I would always say that online or offline, it is always that a leader who inculcates these qualities into, and because see, you need to understand that the children are aping the leader. Whatever the leader says, the children are learning from that. They are their first gurus. They say the guru in the class, So this is what they're learning from the leader. So the leader, if the leader wants to inculcate a growth mindset into the children, she or he should have the same qualities in himself or herself. So then they start aping the same kind of behavior that the leader displays in the class. So it is not a difficult task, but yes, of course, it is a very conscious task, a very conscious decision to have a growth mindset in however, in whatever situation it is. Every situation is not very welcoming in offline also, online also, with so many children in the classroom. But that is where emotional intelligence comes into space. That is where resilience comes into space. So I think a leader matters, and a leader's behavior and approach matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Sagarika, for your insightful and elaborate discussion. In this step, I will come to Bhimlal sir. Please unmute your microphone. Bhimlal sir, are you there? Hello, Bhimlal sir, are you there? Probably she is out of net. Okay, Patricia, please.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, please.
Thank you, sir. I have the questions. Why is growth mindset important in learning?
Because that gives one kind of the brainstorming. It's a kind of the brainstorming before delivering something else. We have to mindset of to make the classroom very effective and the perfect too. Not the perfect, as say the effective. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Patricia, please unmute your microphone.
Yes, please.
Patricia.
Yeah.
How can teacher help a student develop a growth mindset?
Well, first of all, what is important is the teacher's attitude, because she's always an example in the classroom, and the students will copy their behavior. So when the teacher may show a positive or a negative attitude, normally we tend to have a positive attitude in the classroom, but negative attitude is also present. When it is, the teacher tends to intimidate students through their body, through her body language, for example, posture. What are you saying? What do you mean by this? I think that you should study harder. So body language, remember, that is much more powerful than the words themselves, because when the teacher has this way of addressing students, well, the process of learning won't be successful, because the students can perceive the negative emotional load of her words. So what happens? They become frustrated, disillusioned, disappointed, and they tend to quit because they think that they are weak or bad students. So when the teacher has a positive attitude, this means that she wants her students to improve their process of learning. So she is by their side, and she's always giving them feedback. But the type of feedback that she uses is constructive. For example, a student who has a fixed mindset considers that a constructive feedback is not important. What's the use? Because he knows that his abilities cannot be developed. He's bad at math, for example, and he thinks that he won't be able to improve because he doesn't like to go on to try. On the contrary, when the teacher encourages the students to develop a growth mindset, they know that effort is important. The thing is that a teacher who teaches using a growth mindset celebrates successes and minimizes failures, because we have to be very careful the type of words we use when we are addressing our students. For example, after the test, she may say, well, yes, sorry.
I would like to ask one thing.
Yeah.
How can we merge? How can we link up this mindset of in our lesson plan?
Well, no, I don't think that it should be included in your lesson plan. It's something that occurs naturally because it is a question of talking effectively with your students. You know that one of our responsibilities together with parents, both of us should develop a growth mindset in children. And this should be started at an early age. When students start school, they should know that through dedication and perseverance, they will be able to succeed, because effort and success, both of them follow binomial. They cannot be separated. So I don't think that this should be included. It should be part of the improvement, the different types of improvements that should be included in the classroom. But I don't think that it should be a specific topic in your lesson plan. This encouragement of developing a growth mindset should be present in every single class. That's why when you start
Hello, Patricia.
Hello.
Is feedback important for mindset?
Is what?
Feedback.
Yes, crucial. Feedback should be present because feedback is related to metacognition. And whenever you speak about feedback and you use feedback in the classroom, you are inviting the students to reflect on their own process. So feedback cannot be absent in any area of the school subject. Yes, crucial. Let's wait for the others to join us.
Why they have to late?
Yeah, they are not joining us.
I called Shagarika.
Okay.
Teresi has messaged me. She's on the way, the doctor right now.
Oh, okay.
Teresi.
I don't know. I don't understand why they are taking so much time to join. All right, here we are. Vim is already here. That's good.
Bhim.
Hi.
No others?
Okay, we are getting back again.
Dr. Sagarika?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Sagarika. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
She also came.
Yeah. I have a bad
Okay.
net.
Bhatia or Bhata?
Patricia, please
Bhatia?
continue. Patricia, please continue your space.
Okay, well, I was saying how important feedback is. For example, students who are difficult to change their mindsets consider that feedback is not important because whatever they may, the teacher may say is not important because they are convinced that they are bad students.
And Patricia,
Yeah.
When we give the constructive feedback, could you give some of the examples? What kinds of the feedback we can provide them?
All right.
For example,
good questions. Normally, when teachers are more concerned with contents and they want to finish a number of courses by the end of the month or by the end of the term, and when they finish, they realize that well, they are glad because they have finished, but they have not paid attention if the students have really learned. And this is a very big mistake because gaps in learning start appearing when the teacher teaches content very quickly. So a good teacher should emphasize growth over speed. Learning fast does not mean that the students are learning well. When the students are learning well, this indicates that sometimes should be devoted to mistakes. For example, the teacher should encourage the students when she says, instead of wrong, instead of study harder, as I said before, the term yet. This word is magic because you have not learned this yet. I mentioned at the beginning of the session, Carol Dweck. She's a TED talker and you can listen to her about what she says about the power of yet. When you are told, well, you have not learned it yet, the term yet gives you hope because you know that, well, you have not learned it, but in the future, you will. That's the magic of the term yet. Instead of saying you have to study harder or revise your notes, you can say, okay, well, you have done this correctly. What you need to do now is to relate this with prior knowledge. Remember that we saw this 2 weeks ago. Well, this new information should be related to that. So when you explain in this way to your students, the power of yet, although it may not be mentioned, it is always present. They have hope because they know that they will be able to be successful. Because remember that students, we have diversity in the classroom. The strategies that may work for some may not work for others. So the teacher should have a toolbox full of strategies and resources in order to be tactful enough and decide which strategies should be used according to the type of students who are having problems. So in this way, the students feel supported because they realize that their teacher is empathetic and she's approachable. And when the teacher shows this type of attitude, the students become more willing to speak in the class, more willing to participate in the class, and they are not afraid of committing mistakes because she encourages her students to turn the classroom into a laboratory where they experiment with contents, where everybody's learning, and they find the importance of working together because through working together, they are able to become autonomous. I always insist that students should know that learning is a social process. So first, they need to learn together. And while they are learning together, they are in the process of becoming autonomous. Cooperative work is not as frequent as it should be, but fortunately, with the introduction of these active methodologies, with these new tendencies in education, cooperative learning is present permanently. Why? Because the students are learning together and they are enjoying sharing information and constructing meaning together. I think that I have answered your question. Have I, Vim? Well, probably he's not there. But anyway, what else? What is important is to value the process. This is another important aspect in order to nurture a growth mindset in the classroom. Why? Because when you accompany the students in the process of learning, you are encouraging them to reflect. That's why metacognition is so important. Remember, we have already dealt with metacognition. Metacognition should be the element in every single class. It should be given a special space in the classroom. Why? Because when we have reflection time in the classroom, the students have the opportunity to reflect on their own learning, to identify their weaknesses and their strengths. And in this way, they learn together. That's why when we have a classroom in which a growth mindset is encouraged, everything is better. The students feel more comfortable, and both the process of learning and the process of teaching take place successfully.
Okay, Patricia, we have lots of learn your insightful discussions. In this step, I would like to, Shagurika, please, does mindset only apply to students or teachers? Will the mindset of both be equal?
Of course, growth mindset applies to both student as well as teacher, because they say, psychology says that 70% of learning that happens is through peer learning. So peer learning in the classroom, it plays a very important role. And as Patricia rightly said, that collaborative learning is a process of learning that can't be ruled out at any age in a classroom, So collaborative learning, when it is collaborative learning, is the mindset of children will be very important, as a result of which growth mindset, a peer with a positive growth mindset will obviously excel, and also will it's contagious. When it's collaborative learning, everyone's behavior is contagious, everyone apes each other, everyone learns from each other, positive or negative. So children, yes, should have a growth mindset. But the next question that you asked me, obviously the growth mindset is very age specific, very age specific. So a teacher obviously will have a growth mindset with respect to more of leadership, more of development, more of taking the children ahead. But then with respect to the children, the growth mindset would be maybe good progress, good behavior, good activity, good project, and looking ahead and scoring good grades, So it very much depends on, it's as I said, it's age appropriate. But yes, growth mindset, everyone should have a growth mindset. And not only as teachers, we as parents also should inculcate growth mindset into our children. Very important, Otherwise, if we don't do this, then the growth is stunted. It's very simple. Then the growth is stunted. The child is fearful. The child is not confident. And the child is always in anxiety that whatever the child is doing, is it right or is it wrong? So it's important. These are qualities that we have to help our children with. So I think it has to be with children also, and it has to be with students also.
Thank you, Shagurika.
And parents as well.
No doubt.
Because the environment has to be such,
Undoubtedly true.
If the school teachers have a growth mindset, and if the child comes back home and is all the time stuffed by the parents, and the parents are underestimating the child, and the parents are shouting at the child, screaming at the child, not listening to the child, and always stubbing the child, so then obviously whatever the school does, it all fizzles off the moment the child comes home. The school and home has to go hand in hand. So only then together can we, inculcate. We can, how you say that out of a cocoon, the butterfly comes out, the caterpillar changes to a butterfly. So that is metamorphosis. So metamorphosis of a child is always a combination of the home and the school.
Thank you, Shagurika. Shamsuddin Talukdar sir has already joined. Talukdar sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Sir, just how does a fixed mindset affected learning?
Okay, welcome everyone. I hope everyone is very nice.
Good to see you.
Yes, good to
Oh,
see you.
you are
Hi.
enjoying pizza. That's good. How you enjoy it? You are moving from hither and thither and looking many puja mandaps. That's very nice. Wonderful. Lots of colorful events are now taking place in every
Yes.
cities and village. That's really wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
People are enjoying, even Muslim, Hindus, and Christian, all are enjoying the occasion. That's really nice. And it also helps us to make our mindset go. That's one of the example. How can we make our children to set their mind for the positive attitude and other things? The important thing is that I'm just listening, Shagorika, and partly I listen, respected Patricia. That's good. But important thing in our country is that what you mentioned, especially Shagorika, environment of home is very important. Maybe school is providing a lot of support, but when the children is coming back to the home, if there is no congenial atmosphere within the home, then it became again hazardous for the children. Nowadays, especially in a competitive world, in every family, there are conflict with husband and wife in terms of your income, your prestigious matter, income, to jump very quickly from one place to another place. If you look about the China, Taiwan, very young people, they are earning a lot of money, but every family has a lot of problem. If you look, their family is going to broken within few days, as because all are trying to work more and more and more. They have no time to look about the children. That's really very bad. Even in third world, the problem is in another place. We are in a poverty line or under the poverty line or just overcoming the poverty line. In that case, they have a lot of shortage of nutritious food. They are doing very low grade working, so they are not supporting their children. If you just consider a boy, in my home, one girl is just helping us. He's very good. She's very good. She comes here and she worked with my wife. As because from very early childhood he was with us. Suddenly he just goes out because her parents wants to get a lot of money, so they took away her and provide her another job in another place. Unfortunately, after maybe 15 years, certainly she come back, and I don't even recognize her, but my wife recognized her, and she told, I want to work with you. Why? Because whenever I go any home, they just tortured me. They are not giving me any opportunity to read out, and my parents always wants money and money, so they are just shifting me. Now she is a very little wonderful boy. Sometime he came in my home, and I told him how you feel your school. So he replied, bad, not fine. Teacher is calling. The children, especially from low grade, they are always calling one another and fighting, bullying. So this is really very bad situation for him. In another hand, nutrition is very important. Some day he just went to the school without any food. Sometimes he come back from the school with a headache, a lot of headaches, headache. So this is really very odd situation. If you just look about those children, those who are living in a slum area. In third world, especially, people are just moving from village to the city for searching work. Unfortunately, they became very low graded people and living in a slum area. Maybe in village they have a very good house and home, but due to overcome the economic crisis, they are just migrating from one place to another place. Even if we look over the countries, people from the third world, they're just moving to the first world for getting a lot of monies, and even from first world, people are coming as a consultant in a third world as because they will getting a lot of monies. But the children, exactly, they are deprived from several angles and from several places. The growing mindset of teachers are very important, undoubtedly true. If you don't own yourself that I am a teacher, I want to help the children, So Patricia already mentioned that metacognition is very important. In that case, children should have a metacognition. Why should I am doing it? In which way I will do it? And how should I help a children? For example, in a school, if you want to allow them for cooperative learning, for peer learning, to talk with one another, to share their ideas with the help of the teacher. Unfortunately, in many schools, they have a very little space. They cannot provide huge amount of area where the children can move around, dance, and talk with one another. So environment creation is very important. I'm not talking about the money and very cost equipment, but the important thing is that if the teacher and the management authority will not understand what are the values of the cooperative learning, how should we engage the children to learn everything with joyful environment? That's very important. But unfortunately, what happened, if you go in any semi-urban area, if you just go a visit, you will see huge number of children just gathering in a classroom. Teacher are just making, oh, you stand up, sit down, making some claps. Maybe teacher is trying to allow them to make a chorus for any poem or any maybe any music, something like that. But they do not have any area to move around, to talk with one another, to exchange their ideas. Even the texts are too small. You will be very wondered to know, and I marked it very carefully. If a base size is maybe 8 to 10 inches, how should the children will put their books? How should they write anything with that sort of the benches? It was happened due to two reasons. One, as there is a very little space, the management committee wants to accommodate a lot of children, so they are just cutting 2 inches or 3 inches from the benches. So it became narrow. And another reason is that proper treatment has not given from the stakeholder. They're very important for a school. I am a stakeholder, you are a stakeholder. What we are talking as a stakeholder, we are trying to understand each other, to exercise ourselves, to getting some new ideas, and by using that ideas to help others. But unfortunately, the percentage is very low. This meeting is indicating that right now we are here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. But Mamata's Roxana is running this program for a long time, in the same day, in the same time. It is really very hard work. I know you all know it. But she knocked each and every corner to join in this meeting. Unfortunately, if the teacher will not have a mindset to learn something new, you might not be able to change the environment. So this is very important. Anyway, but I am very hopeful because the young generation, young teacher, those who are coming in primary school, they are really highly educated. Once in our country, only the intermediate or SSC level teachers were there. Right now, in every primary school, they have a teacher having a master's degree and having at least one educational diploma or degree. So this is very good sign that they know how to handle the children. Still now they are trying. Still now they are trying. I appreciate them, but unfortunately they are not interested. From my observation, not from statistics. From my observation, they are not willing to take part in any seminar or to upgrade it by themselves from their self-learning, to search over the net and other places to understand how we have to tackle the society, how we have to behave with the children, how we have to talk with the parents. But if we can able to motivate all the stakeholders slowly, then once it will be a very good place to make our children to understand everything. Thank you, Mamotas, for allowing me to say something. Really, I'm very busy. That's why I failed to join in a time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, just I have another questions to you. Hello, sir. Oh, okay. Just these questions I want to know just will remote area student mindset be different from city student? Can anybody tell me?
I don't mind taking this particular question.
Till now, this is
Because, can I?
Yeah. Yes, please,
Yes,
go
yes.
on.
Yeah, so the mindset of a student in a city and a mindset of a child in a
Remote area.
tier 2 city also, as was a tier 2 city or tier 3 city, or for that matter, mindset of a child in a developing country and in a developed country, it is all because of the environment that the child is in. Because environment influences the child's growth. So in whatever environment you keep your child, every child is that's why they say that first of all, the mindset is unique. You know, the mindset, everyone's brain, you see the thumbprints that you take, you know, the thumbprints are unique. That means the makeup of everyone's brain is unique. So with that unique brain, if the child is given a right environment, so that environment of a good school, that's why parents have to invest in a good school, stay in a good locality, then mix with good people, travel to good destinations. Why do we say all these things? You know, is because seeing is believing, and whatever the eyes can take, the visual, that is the eyes, the auditory, then your taste, everything is working towards the mindset of the child, the growth mindset, you know. And let me tell you also, addiction, and when I say addiction, it can be positive or negative. That is, when I say addiction, so growth mindset is also an addiction. Because if you are in people, why do leaders have all these Robin Sharma and all of them having a 5 a.m. club in the morning, putting in leaders? Because they are always rewiring the brain, you know, they are always teaching them growth mindset. Because when you are in a company with a growth mindset, automatically you start working that way. So environment of a child, yes, of course, in a developing country, the child is different. In a developed country, the child is different. And maybe in a developing country, but if the environment is good, if the parents are really working towards the child's growth and giving the child a good environment for learning, good social environment, good emotional environment, everything, you know, it all matters. You say the SEL, you know, social emotional learning. So social goes with emotion. It is not single. So all these things, it really matters. So yes, you can say because of what the children experience in these particular countries, these particular places, but again, depends from child to child.
Thank you, Shagorika. Laila, please unmute your microphone.
Because nowadays, sorry, I would just like to add one point, because currently children are spoiled by choice. Even if a child is in the village, because of internet, the child is exposed to so many things. You know, there is Netflix, there are games, there are videos, YouTube videos. So if the child is given the right kind of resources and platforms, so wherever the child is seeing, learning and experiencing it. So I think every child's learning pattern is unique. So you never know. That's how children from the villages also shine, and they go abroad and they become, you know, ministers of states and things like this. They become leaders. But whereas if you really see the background, they come from very very small cities. So it's only their growth mindset that pushes them, that gives them that kind of push all the time, that no, I have to do it, I have to go ahead, I have to push myself, I need to move ahead, I need to be that competitive edge. You know, they're always into competition with a growth mindset. So I think I mean, it would be wrong also. I mean, it's again an oxymoron that where there is a will, there is a way. So wherever you come from, it depends on the child's mindset.
Thank you, Shagorika. Please, Laila, are you there?
I think that we should welcome Mr. Akadar. He's here.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Akadar. You are welcome.
Yeah,
Hello.
he's there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so it's afternoon here, but it's a sunny day.
Where are you from?
I'm from Morocco.
Morocco, great.
Morocco.
Thank you.
Welcome to sir, our platform. This is our global family.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good evening from Bangladesh.
Oh, nice meeting you here.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we will stay with us and continue. Laila, please. What should we do for a positive mindset?
For a positive mindset,
Mindset.
first of all, the educators should have a positive mindset. Even the child is already growing at home, the parents should have the positive mindset. Because wherever the plant is, if the plant gets all the ingredients, then only it will be able to grow. Just like we think about a plant which is already been provided by all the requirements, then only we can see the growth. Then why can't we try to develop that growth mindset in us, and through us, we will be able to develop growth mindset to whomsoever we are dealing. I will not say only for education. I will say even in the hospitals what we are seeing. Those who are having the growth mindset, they are only taking care of the patient. Those who don't have the growth mindset, they will think that let the patient die, what I am going to get. So positive mindset plays an important role. That positive mindset will come only and only when, in my opinion, what I believe, the universal values should be there. When a child enters the classroom, he is like a blank slate. Whatever the teacher writes, it will be there. It cannot be erased. Always, always I am telling that only, because whatever we have done, it is recorded in our mind. Till the death time, it will be recorded in our mind. The good things we have learned, whatever mistakes we have already done, how corrections have been done, how we have got this growth mindset. Every Tuesday we are waiting for this. That is a positive mindset only. Even though we are grown-up people, we are ready to talk, we are ready to share, we are ready to collaborate, we are ready to cooperate, we are already becoming active listeners. Whenever we listen something, then only we will be able to react against it. Positive way. Positivity has to be inculcated right from the beginning, from the family, and then, of course, through the school. Because just now we all were discussing about the positive mindset the teacher will create in the school. What about when they are going back home? Abusing. Parents, they will think that these children are already becoming a headache for them. Or some of the parents, when they go for outside to do some work, the children will be already been sent into the daycare center. So in that case, to whomsoever we blame, that is ultimately coming only and only to the mature people. Mature people in the sense, not I am saying that the aged people or already those who are above the age of 26. No. Mature people you can see in the classroom also, the same age group, the peer group, they will be able to inculcate and develop. They will be able to promote and encourage the other children in the best possible manner, because whenever we teach, we have come to know that those peers are working better than sometimes the teachers. They can easily instill in the positivity. Do like this, you can also style like me. Do this, you will also get appreciation from the teacher and the principal. So the loving and love and kindness, care and affection by the peers in the classroom are already coupled with the proper care of the teacher will surely inculcate or install the positive mindset in the children. And that is the way to bring development and progress, not only in a locality, but in the whole world. So let us try for that, whatever we talk, let us try to practice it in our life wherever we are. Because in theory, we are saying, in practice, if we are not doing, then all our discussions will become zero. So I hope and I believe wherever we are, whether we are in coaching or we are in teaching the class, wherever we are, or even just like Samsudin sir was telling about a boy who is working in his home. Positivity. That positivity is required when a maid servant comes to our house. We should have developed that positive attitude towards her. So everywhere, each and every second, we are getting that particular opportunity. We should know how to use it. Surely we will be able to develop positive mindset and growth mindset wherever we are. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laila, for your great compliments. I will come to Barek sir, Barek Akadar sir, please. Please unmute your microphone. Patricia, I have last question just. Do teachers need any special training for mindset?
No, I don't think so. It is a question of attitude.
Do teachers need any special training for mindset?
No, I don't think so. You have a positive attitude and you develop this growth mindset because you use it in your own life. As Shagarita has said before, it is part of your behavior. That's why when you are a principal and you have a staff in which some teachers have not developed a growth mindset, well, we as principals, we should encourage them to develop that because they are responsible for nurturing a growth mindset in the classroom. Imagine having a teacher who has a fixed mindset. What type of teaching and learning will she be able to provide their students? So the idea is that there are negative people around the world, as well as there are positive people. So those positive people always try to develop a positive mindset, a growth mindset. And as I said at the beginning, teachers and parents are responsible for encouraging a growth mindset. And it should be encouraged at an early age so that when students start schooling, the teachers are responsible for developing this type of mindset in the classroom. Why? Because when the teacher has got a growth mindset, she's inviting the students to step outside the comfort zone. Well, when you remain in the comfort zone, there are no possibilities of growth, no possibilities of change, no possibilities of learning something different because people inside the comfort zone feel safe because it is always the same type of structures, the same type of answers. That's why they feel comfortable. But when you are a teacher and you expect your students to work in the classroom, it is essential to teach them to step outside the comfort zone. That's why a growth mindset is necessary.
But you know, Patricia, here in I do teacher workshops on growth mindset. In India, we have to teach our children. We have to do teacher training for growth mindset. It doesn't come naturally at all to our teachers.
I agree
because our
you,
teachers they have 40 students in the class. They get so frustrated with the children. They don't appreciate any. They say you are wrong. This is not right. I mean, their whole vocabulary. Whole vocabulary.
You are right.
I think so, and I agree with you, Shagurika.
The thing is that probably you may be positive when you start your classes, but when you have a crowded class, you forget about your growth mindset.
So it's very consciously, we have this teacher training wherein to teach the teachers growth mindset. We do it through activity-based learning. We have them, like case studies, activity. So, but then, yes, we do it consciously. We have growth mindset activities going on.
Well, I think that in each course, this should be encouraged, but normally in life, you should be positive
Yeah, you should be positive, but you see so many negative people around.
Yes,
you.
it's true. It's
I
true.
think Patricia already mentioned one important question, and this is really a good point for educationists. If you always make it a comfort zone, then there will be no change. Undoubtedly true. But we have to do it in a way that teachers should guide them, firstly with a guided, semi-guided, then free. Otherwise, they will not be able to adjust. We cannot push them immediately in a hard work. But we have to arrange, or we have to make the activity where they will have a chance to think new thing in a new way. For that, we need to change the environment, what I said. Maybe then they will feel not a comfortable at the beginning, as because they have to do a lot of brain exercise. But if we can arrange a lot of equipments, ideas, or even we can make a lot of puzzle, interesting puzzle. Maybe it's the drama or something like that. Maybe it's the movie watching, or maybe it's the making of a toy or something like that model. And we have to interconnected all the things. What the Shagorika said already, she made a lot of workshop, really emphasis on our neuron and neurosystem, as well as with the pedagogy. So combining this, whenever they are doing any workshop, this is very critical for teacher to get or involve within that things. First, in our curriculum, especially in B.Ed curriculum, or even in primary school teachers training curriculum, we have a lot of leakage there, because the world is changing very fast. That's very important. Neuroscience, it was started only in a limited area. Within these 5 years, it grows very highly, and every university is now offering degree to study on neuroscience. And the educationists are giving emphasis. Let us think how our brain helps ourselves to understand everything. So getting those ideas within that mindset of a teacher is very important. So the growth mindset of a teacher is very important. And in training session, whenever you are doing something, this is really artificial. You are just having a limited teachers. You have a lot of equipments. You have a lot of space, and you are just delivering a lecture. Even sometimes some people are coming from the high official, they are not exercising anything inside the classroom, but they are giving the lecture. So a lot of gaps are there in reality and in practicality. So to overcome it, we have to write it, we have to correct it. We will try to show them how to do it, what the Shagorika is doing. And she took part with me in many webinar, and she really nicely depict how our brain is working with a very simple word. Even she started Bangla to deliver that webinar, very wonderful. She is not talking in Bangla or not writing in Bangla. That days was very hard for her to make it really successful. But she described it very nicely, why parents should take care, why teachers should take care, how should they look over the brain, especially if you consider amygdala, how the amygdala has hijacked, how to check it, what are the factors, how the hormonal change is taking in our mind. Everything is going, even a little children to elderly people.
Sir, will you be rejoin the program?
Okay, but to make it understand, we need to incorporate this thing in a training program as well as in school in practicality. So in that case, Shagorika is not telling anything negative, but she is telling we have to make such kind of environment where the teacher will be able to exercise it. Am I right, Shagorika?
Absolutely, you got me right.
That's nice. And Patricia always is fighting that you have to make them free. They will do whatever they wish. They will do the drama. They will come here. They will face the problem. They will solve the problem. So they will get it. So we have to incorporate all the things in a bundle program where teacher has a freedom to exercise it according to the behavior of the children. We cannot fix
after a long time has joined Bushra. Bushra, how are you? Hello, Bushra.
I'm fine. Naz. How are you? Salam, Sir Sharfuddin and Leila. How are you? I'm so sorry. It's 12th Rabiul Awwal here and celebrations they were on. So I was a little late and was busy there still, out somewhere with so much public around. So can't switch on my camera. But yes, good that we are together here in the meeting.
And you know that about our today's topic.
Yes.
Please say something about our today's topic.
It was about, I think, cell.
A growth mindset culture in the classroom.
Yes. Somewhere recently, I got the opportunity to train some teachers in the northern part of Pakistan. I think in my last meeting, I did share about that Pakistan is revamping with a single national curriculum. And it was lucky to be a part of this. And while developing the content and looking at the teachers training material, got so much of ideas while working on it that yes, lot to achieve through teaching and learning. Not lot to achieve, rather everything is achieved when we are informed. And I did, see some part of your today's topic as that's growth mindset. So whosoever was there, because it's the northern part, they have 99% literacy, the extreme northern part, because some Aga Khani people, they are supporting their XYZ. Just giving you some, reference to context so that you get a clear idea. Now, teachers, they are quite committed. Literacy rate is very high, but they are far-flung areas as far as the cities, twilights, they are concerned. But very passionate about education and educational development. So we being the part of the government sector, we went there and trained the teachers on this single national curriculum. And let me share with all of you, because of course our ultimate beneficiary is the child. So I just want to relate the whole thing. How important is it for a teacher to be a growth mindset developer? So whosoever we talked about, everybody was having with the fear of failure. Fear of failure is not something that I'll get fail. Fear of failure, that what would happen if I'll not be teaching from the book? This was number one point. What would happen if my students, they are not learning? What would happen if I'm not teaching practically in the class? The parents who pay the fee, they'll be after me, XYZ. So such fears, they were there. And whatever the innovative approach was adopted, rather is adopted in the single national curriculum, the teachers, the highly developed teachers over there, they were reluctant in acceptance. So I, being of course the trainer, I was supposed to put my thoughts in their mind. I was supposed to be. So I did ask them, okay, just tell me, if it doesn't happen, what would happen? So everyone replied, nothing would happen. So I said, then why are you so fearful of accepting this change? They said, because what would be the people saying? What would be the parents saying? What would happen if the children, they fail XYZ? I said, this fear is basically the root cause that I am setting in my classroom when I am not with, when I am very much with a fixed mindset. I go in the class and I take up the book and I teach it from that book, and I write on the blackboard and I ask my student to copy it down and learn it by heart and then produce it in the paper. So this whole screen, this whole scheme is basically setting Bushra's practices as fixed mindset. So what actually we have to do, that just go in the class with the mindset that if it doesn't happen, either it would happen or it would not happen. Nothing more would happen than that. If it happens, practice it. And if it doesn't happen, you're not a failure, you're not fail, but you need to find the ways, the way you can do it in your context. I am doing it in my context. Yes, I did not get full support in Lahore from my teachers as well. Lahore is a metropolitan city. We are, yes, applying innovative things, XYZ, lots of, highly paid as far as teaching faculty is concerned, and highly paid as far as the parents is concerned. They are charging too much fee, schools they are concerned. But even in those schools, teachers, they have a fixed mindset. So we need to change the mindset basically in a way that either it would happen or it would not happen. Happening, fine, celebrate and enjoy and practice it and tell others and enjoy the celebration with others as well. And if it doesn't happen, ask Sharfuddin, ask Shamsuddin, ask Muntaz, ask Leila, ask Bushra, how would we be doing it? Please tell us. Now, this is going to be the growth mindset. And if we go with this, our students, they'll definitely be enjoying a different sorts of classroom. Yes, this is a very, very big fact as far as particularly my country, Pakistan is concerned, or Asian countries they are concerned. We, the teachers, we are given a book, we are given a child, we are given a salary, and we are given a classroom, and we are given a timeline. We need to cover the whole thing, and we need to make a khichdi out of it in the end, and we need to take an exams that gives the result, pass or fail. So I tell my teachers as well, and I told those brilliant minds in the northern side of Pakistan as well, that you people are amongst the brilliant people who are admired by all the people across Pakistan. So why do you people have this fixed mindset? Then they got to know, oh, this is what is called fixed mindset. I said, yes, when we are not ready to learn or adopt the new things. And every learning comes when we unlearn the previous things. And unlearning doesn't mean we leave our values. Unlearning doesn't mean we leave the roots. It will remain ABC, it will remain Alif Bebe, it will remain 1, 2, 3 till 10. But the changes, the innovative ideas that we need to adopt and develop among students, that will be coming with the growth mindset that yes, children, you have not done it so far, you would definitely do this. My tone, my voice, my practice, and my methodology will declare this, whether I have been successful in developing it or not. So this is what growth mindset is, that the power of yet. It's not done yet, but it will definitely take place when everything is in Bushra's hand, by the grace of God Almighty, by his power. Yes, because he has given me hand. He has given you people two hand. He has given equal abilities to all of us. So if he wants, yes, I'll definitely. But if I really want not to justify my salary, yes, I just have to cover the whole day and then 30 days and get the salary and come back home. It will revert back to me with the shape of my own children. If I'm, justifying my thing. So back to the point that this is basically the need of the hour, because with an influx of so much of information, it is really, really difficult for all of us as educators as well to clarify or to jot down the, key component, that what components we really want to inculcate in our students. But yes, Bushra knows better in my Bushra's context, Muntaz knows in Bangladesh's context, and whosoever is there. So that contextual value and contextual development consideration is really an important thing. And last not the least, the only statement, the power of yet, is very, very important. Children, you haven't done yet, but you can do this. This is for me as the growth mindset. And Shamsuddin sir, you laughed your heart out. So I would definitely be liking to, ask what was the key thing behind that.
I'm laughing as because your country, my country, and the country of the Asia. policymaker thinking in a one way, but the real life situation is just in another pole.
So right.
You just told that one national curriculum and everybody is exercising just to pass the children.
Yeah.
Not to getting understand.
So right.
And teachers are also thinking, okay, how should I finish it? If I will not finish it, then the managing committee will blame me that I am not able to finish it. And lastly, you told that if Bushras take all the power, then she might be able to change all the things. That's really very difficult. Because understanding, exercising, everything depend on the environment and the activity of a teacher. And unfortunately, if we are exam oriented, then the children will never learn anything. They will just start to learn to just only pass the exam. And from the government and other agencies, sometimes there was a unseen pressure that why your children are not doing good? What are you doing in the school? Why their grade is going downward? So teachers are thinking, okay, let you allow them to cram everything and vomiting all the things in the exam paper, so I will be passed.
Yeah.
That's one of the, yes, please.
It reminded me of one thing. You are very right that being Asian country, we all have the same dilemma as well, that we are, we are thrown with the curriculum with us, and we are forced to complete that curriculum in terms of.
You will be very wanted to know that I also worked for curriculum for long, maybe 25 years in Bangladesh.
Okay. And it reminded me of a very interesting joke, and we people are like that. Two men, they were having an agreement that who is going to run fast. So their third friend said, okay, go and touch that red light. And what happened next, that one of the friend, he touched the red light and came back very readily, and the other came back after 6 hours, and he was exhausted like anything. So the third friend asked, why are you so exhausted? He came back within 1 minute. I was running after the bus red light. So we are running after the bus red light, and we are exhausted so much, all of us.
It is really very hard,
It is.
Especially in our country, if you consider Pakistan itself, it is really very not unique in terms of the population distribution, facilities, natural resources. Even in some places, the people are just ruling by themselves. In some areas, they are very disciplined. They are following the rules and regulation. Some ethnic violence are always taking place, not only in Pakistan, almost all of the Asian countries.
Very right.
These are very, very big hindrance for education. If you know from your country, we know she got a Nobel Prize, Malayalam. Really, I appreciate her. I salute her. She was a very brave girl, undoubtedly true. Within that is what she did is wonderful. But many girls and many children might be like her mindset, but they are not getting the opportunity. If the Britain people did not carry her to the Britain, so it was a question of his life. Now she is surviving and telling a lot of things in favor of education, in favor of children. Wonderful, and the people of the earth just listening her and appreciate her and trying to understand her. What are the children's demand? In this Pakistan, such kind of children are coming out. In the another hand, there are many children, those who are just now moving with a gun.
So right.
In such a condition, to make a unique educational system, to build up a unique education system is really very difficult for any educationist like Bushra.
So
Thank you very much, Bushra.
Thank you, Sir Shamsuddin. And I would conclude here with this very thing that yes, blessed are we that we can talk in terms of the Asian context, not particular with some specific countries context, and that makes the beauty of this whole program. And in my 27 years, educational experience, teaching plus administration, I have found out, be it a remote area, be it a developed area, be it a suburban area, if teacher is trained appropriate. Now, training doesn't mean give him the right, give him the technique, give him. If the teacher is informed in the right direction, he or she can develop the students' mindset to a growth mindset side. And that is one of the very important thing. But yes, the reluctancy of developing teaching faculty is many where have many gaps as well, many shortcomings as well. But once teachers, they are trained appropriately, many of the things they are resolved. Thank you so much, Mumtaz, for giving me so much of time.
Thank you, Bushra. Undoubtedly true. We have missed your strong evidence and speech delivery after a long time. So,
Thank you.
Even Mamatas, you can say we are missing chirping.
Shukriya, sir. Shukriya.
Shukriya. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Teacher
Today
needs.
is a very blessed day.
Okay.
Our prophet.
Yeah, our prophet was born.
Right. It's a very, very, very important day. We have to follow his principles, his lifestyle.
Shamsuddin and Mumtaz, I would like to ask, like there is quite a lot tradition from the last 2-3 decades that roads and streets, they are being decorated, and like lots of processions in the celebrations, they run from one street to another, and lots of food is distributed, not only in the needy ones, but even I remember last night, all the celebrations were on, and milads, they were on in our society. And children, my girls, my son, they ask, we need to go and see whatever happening. So my husband said, okay, corona is there now, dengue is there, and you people are going in the mob. I said, we will paint the wear the face masks. Anyways, we went there, and lots of fun that was there. And I asked myself, oh Bushra, I have missed it for the last 2 decades. It was such good celebration, and I put it on my Facebook story as well. So this social interaction helps in bringing a growth mindset as well, because once we are confined in our own surroundings, we feel that yes, the world is there in my room or in my home.
Just when I was starting, Shagorika was there, and I told the same thing in your puja. It's really very big celebration when people are moving from one mandap to another, and they are enjoying collaboration, cooperation, creation is taking place. In any festival, when the people are get together, they are really exchanging a lot of ideas. So this is the good way to start our growth mindset. Undoubtedly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bushra. I think that teacher need more mindset, because if teachers are not aware of how quality education will be maintained, I believe that a teacher needs an advanced mentality for quality of education. Bushra, you have joined our end of the session. So thank you very much. I am able to reach the 27th episode today, because
wow, mashallah.
Because you are with me, stay by my side all the time. Honestly, I learned something from you and every day. So we will surely be able to take this world closer to that day. So now we'll finish with everyone's permission. Many thanks for making the program a success for so long. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mumtaz.
For
and
your
see you next
good
time.
Good cooperation.
Inshallah.
And we know how to start again from our negotiation, so that we can apply it to everyone from their position. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we will all do the same. We are doing this because we all love the country. We need to be very aware of the global epidemic. So we have to make arrangements and to keep ourselves healthy and others healthy. Stay safe, stay well. See you next week with a new topic. All the best until then. God bless all of you. Thank you, Bushra. Thank you, Waliullah sir.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Allah Hafiz.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.